morning and welcome to your daily dose, international yachting, sailing, and boating news for Wednesday, June 29th. If you like what you see or hear, please do subscribe. If you have a story or a suggestion, you can reach out to us at info@yachtinginternationalradio.com. I am Ria Rao, and this is your daily dose. The Supreme Court has ordered the sale of a superyacht linked to a Russian billionaire whose name appears on the UK's Ukraine sanctions list. The Malta flag vessel Axioma was arrested in Gibraltar last March after a claim filed by JP Morgan Bank. Court documents state the bank had provided a 20.5 million euro loan in December of 2021 to an investment registered in the British Virgin Islands, whose then shareholder was a Cypriot company owned by Russian businessman Dmitry Pumpyansky. Mr. Pumpyansky was the guarantor of the loan, which was to be used for a mortgage on the vessel. JP Morgan filed the claim and arrested the vessel in Gibraltar after Mr. Pumpyansky was placed on the UK sanctions list, making him subject to a travel ban and an asset freeze. At the time, and against the backdrop of the Ukraine crisis, Gibraltar had already banned the entry of vessels linked to Russia or sanctioned individuals. However, the Gibraltar government cleared the entry of the superyacht Axioma after confirming it would be arrested in connection to the claim filed in the Supreme Court. Lawyers for the bank told the Supreme Court that Mr. Pumpyansky's inclusion on the sanctions list amounted to a breach of the loan agreement. The bank also told the court that shares of the Cypriot company had been transferred to a third party on March 4th this year, 5 days before Mr. Pumpyansky was placed on the UK sanctions list, and that this too constituted a breach of the loan agreement. In his claim, JP Morgan sought a declaration from the court that the mortgage was valid and binding, and payment of the 20.5 million euro loan plus interest and costs. It also sought an order for the sale of the vessel pursuant to that claim. Earlier this month, the judge ruled in favor of the bank and ordered that the vessel be sold at auction. The vessel will be sold to the highest bidder following an expert appraisal by experienced brokers who will determine its value. The proceeds of the sale will be paid into the court, which will then determine the priority of any claims made by creditors against those proceeds. The Axioma remains berthed in Gibraltar pending its sale to a new owner. An update on the seized $300 million superyacht Amadea, which had for months been the center of court cases in Fiji and linked to sanctioned Russian billionaire Suleiman Kerimov, had sailed from Honolulu and has arrived in San Diego Bay as of Monday. The U.S. Department of Justice said in a tweet Monday that the Amadeo will remain in the custody of the U.S. government pending its anticipated forfeiture and sale. After hitting a small iceberg while transiting to Hubbard Glacier on Saturday, June 25th, Norwegian Cruise Line has informed guests on board that the current voyage has now been canceled. The ship's captain announced on Monday while the vessel was docked in Juneau, Alaska. A letter was also sent to all guests from the ship's captain, which stated, "As you may have heard from my previous announcement, in an abundance of caution, we have made the decision to cancel the remainder of Norwegian Sun's June 21st, 2022 voyage. As such, we will be setting sail from Juneau, returning directly to Seattle." Norwegian Sun departed the dock in Juneau at approximately 2:15 p.m. and will sail directly back home to Seattle, Washington at reduced speed and is expected to arrive on Thursday morning. The unexpected cancellation is due to the Norwegian Sun coming in contact with a growler while transiting to Hubbard Glacier in Alaska. According to the National Ocean Service, growlers are smaller fragments of ice roughly the size of a truck or piano. They usually extend no more than 3 feet above the water. The good news is there were no injuries and all services on board remained fully operational. All guests on board will be provided a full 100% discount and a 100% future cruise credit. A toxic cloud of chlorine gas was released in a loading accident Monday afternoon in the Jordanian port of Aqaba on the Red Sea. State media is reporting that 13 people died and at least 260 others were injured when the gas cylinder ruptured, releasing the toxic chemical onto the ship and surrounding dock area. State media released the closed-circuit TV images of a normal day of operations in the port. A vessel was alongside loading about 20 tanks of liquefied chlorine gas, which is used as a disinfectant and water purification agent. Around 5 p.m. local time, a truck could be seen alongside the ship with a shoreside crane lifting the canister. The truck drives away and another is preparing to come alongside when the tank suspended by the crane over the ship suddenly drops to the deck below. The toxic gas is pressurized and cooled for shipment, and when the tank is punctured, a cloud envelopes the local area. People are seen running from the advancing cloud, and initial reports indicate that the crane lifting the tank malfunctioned. Some reports also suggest that one of the main wires on the crane broke, causing the release of the tank. The tank reportedly held 25 to 30 tons of chlorine. Civil defense officials cordoned off areas of the port while broadcasting warnings to residents to remain indoors and close their windows as a precaution. They pointed out that the port area is not close to residences. However, with the wind possibly pushing the gas to the south, they ordered a popular tourist beach near the port evacuated. Health officials reported that the hospitals in Aqaba were all full and that they were using emergency field hospitals. State media is reporting as many as 199 people were taken to the hospital, and there were reports that some would be airlifted to the capital or other major facilities. Jordan's prime minister traveled to the area and announced that an investigation would begin tomorrow, headed by the Minister of the Interior. Operations were initially suspended across the port, but late today, port officials said operations were ongoing. However, they will be ordering ships to remain away from the area of the accident. Don't forget to tune in this evening at 1800 CET for the Wellbeing Project with Corinne Rayson of the Crew Coach. Corinne did a deep dive into the archives this week for a special episode on how to handle bullies on board. This has been your daily dose of yachting, sailing, and boating news for Wednesday, June 29th. Join us here tomorrow morning at 0600 CET, midnight EST, for your daily dose of yachting, sailing, and boating news. I am Ria Rao, and this has been your Daily Dose.